Hiya, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry I've been missing for a while, if anyone's even noticed that. I've been really busy kind of with all sorts of things really, personal stuff, holidays, but also busy in terms of changing my aquariums completely, rearranging the room, getting rid of the rack, and I'll probably do some more videos to come on those kind of updates, but this video is just kind of focusing on an update of this tank because the last video that I posted of this tank was the planting, and obviously from then to now it looks completely different. It's undergone a lot of transformation. It's had at least 3 or 4 big trims, and everything's kind of growing in really well. So it was just kind of an update on this. I think it must be coming up 3 months easily since I planted it. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you where it's at, any problems and stuff that I encountered. I apologise for the slightly dirty lily pipes. They're not as bad as they have been, so that's something, and it's going to be a bit annoying because the CO2 is still running, but this was just the perfect time to shoot the video because no one's in and we'll get interrupted. So yeah, let's give you like a sort of an overview of everything at the minute. It was just trimmed not yesterday, the day before. So you can see the background, it's got a bit of a shape to it. It's been looking quite wild lately. It's probably neglected a little bit. So just a little recap, because things might have changed a little bit since planting. So in the background we've got Pogostemon erectus, which is doing really well. It's just from day one it was just growing like crazy, so I'm really happy that I've been able to grow that plant because that's not one I've used before, so I'm glad that was a success. Next to that we've got some Rotala hra, which is looking quite nice because it's getting some red tips on it. That's actually being trimmed and then topped, which is basically when your plants sort of reaching the top of the water, it's that the tip of it's going to be the most red because it's the most under the light. It's like reaching the most light, so it's probably going to be the most vibrant. So when you're trimming your plants, if you like cut the tips off and just push them in with tweezers into like the bulk of the bush that's already there, if that makes any sense, just like push them in, and it just means that you get like a nicer finish once you've trimmed your plants. It doesn't look so harsh and so calculated almost. It's not like a hard finish, it looks a lot more natural, so that's why they're looking like that, and I think that looks really nice. If anyone doesn't understand that, I will do a better explanation. Maybe I'll do another video on it, on like maintenance and trimming. Next to that is Rotala wallichi. Now that is a plant I've tried to grow before without CO2 and without highlighting, and it didn't work. It's a nightmare. Like, I would say don't try it, but no, like, you should just try it yourself. You'll find out, maybe it'll work for you. But it's finally started to give me some okayish results. When it does get closer to the light, it does go a nicer colour, like the colour that I prefer it to be, which is that almost browny, really natural, sombre, is that the right word, kind of colour. But I have turned the light down a little bit on this. So this is a Twin Star B series, I think, B line. It's not a necessarily high-end light, but it's actually pretty good. And running it on 100, I was dealing with some staghorn algae, which isn't necessarily caused by light, but I don't think light helps, but I'll go into that later. Next to that is the Hygrophila lancia araguaia, which is absolutely taken over, and there was some cryptocorine, however you say it, albedo brown, which is completely just smothered, but I'm kind of cool with that because I actually really like it. It gives some really nice textures. It's not all the leaves are red. Like, some of them are red, some of them are green, but I quite like that. And then I added in some, which you can barely see, but sort of where that little tetra is, there is some Starigani repens, just to add a bit more foregroundy stuff. And then coming more into the foreground, we've got moss, which is weeping moss, which is just what have I done with it? How did I do it? I cotton cotton wrapped it. I wrapped cotton around it onto a stone so that I can just pick them out, trim them and put them back in, because I hate trimming moss, I can't do it. So it was just easier just doing these little spots and just being able to trim the stone instead. So that's probably a bit better. And then in the front, we've got various Anubias and Bucephalandra. I'm going to try and get some focus on this, bear with me. It's a bit hard because of the bubbles. We've also got the Riccardia Camadrifolia, which is going crazy actually. It looks really cool. Adds a really aged look, it's just spread really well. Obviously going up into the, I guess the centerpiece, which is the Trident Fern. And then just peek around this corner, which is actually one of my favourite views, but you probably won't get to see. I'm going to have to do this without the CO2 at one point. But around there, hi fishy. Yeah, there's just more HRAR and crypts and something else. The fish have completely ruined the graded effect. Don't get me wrong, there's still obviously stones and sand. It's a slight gradient, but it doesn't look as... well, it looks more natural, I guess. It's not as precise as the way I had it. The stones have obviously developed the greenish, not totally covered in algae, but that, again, that nice aged look, which I don't mind. I did end up adding some Clithon corona, what they're called, snails in, because I was getting algae. I was getting this weird green fuzz algae all over the rocks, especially those ones, which are the ones that are mostly under the highlight, and there's not really any other plants there to shade them. And I'm probably going to try and zoom in on this. You're not... move fishy. I don't know if you can kind of see in the bottom left corner the staghorn algae growing on the epiphytes. Now there's probably some on there, what you can see. It's not too bad, it's manageable. I can manually remove it for the most part. It's worse in the back, as I say, because they're directly under the light and they're slow growing and nothing's really shadowing them. So that's been a bit of a battle, but it's been nothing too bad yet, so I'm not too worried. So generally I think, and I'm not 100% pro on this, but I think staghorn generally comes or is more likely to be seen when there's... I'm going to talk about this guppy in a minute, because if anyone could see him, he's probably like, he's missing his tail. Yeah, he is, but we'll go into that in a minute. I think it generally comes when there's an ammonia spike. Now, when I set this tank up, I was using a filter, my Oasa Biomaster 600, which had been running for months and months and months on my previous tank. So you would think that that was probably seeded with enough bacteria to handle the ammonia spike that was going to be released from the aqua soil, but maybe there wasn't. And even still, any spike or any kind of, you know, jump in water parameter could potentially cause it. So admittedly, I probably didn't do as many water changes as I should have done. I probably just sort of tried to wing it a little bit, thinking, oh well, my filter's already seeded and it's already an old filter, it's been running for ages, so it'll be fine. Evidently that probably wasn't the case, but I think it is accelerated by light. Someone might tell me I'm wrong, maybe I am, but I find that where it's growing, where the light is, and where the light is stronger, it seems to be worse. And it seems to be mostly on the epiphytes and some of the like wood and hardscape. But like I say, it's nothing too unmanageable, so that is what it is. I could dose some 2-hour Aquarist algae fix, which I have got, but until it gets really bad, I probably won't resort to chemical. Or Easy Carbo, that's another one that I use as well. Yeah, this little guppy, so if anyone saw the previous videos, you remember that I had, well, quite a lot of long videos ago now. A lot of long videos ago. But I did have 4 guppies, and when I took this tank down, I did move them into a different tank. Unfortunately, I lost 2. I don't believe that it was because of moving. They are just quite old, and guppies, I suppose, don't have the longest lifespan, but they'd definitely be a year old at least, and I don't know how old they were when I got them. So I lost 2 and I had 2 left, and I noticed that they were like bullying each other, but there was also a honey gourami in with them. Now he used to be in here, but he's got a tank of his own now, and it was just him and these guppies. I don't think that he never bullied them when he was in this tank, but for whatever reason he did. And because that tank's in the kitchen, I probably wasn't paying as much attention to it as I should have. And I came in and I was like, that guppy seems to be missing part of its tail. So I quickly got it out, got them both out. No, sorry, a lie. Got one out, the other one died. Put him in here, and he seems to be living his best life. Now, again, he's back into where he came from, so it made me feel guilty for taking him out, but he's doing fine. He's crazy, he just always gets in the way of the camera. So yeah, I think I have tried to treat him, but it's just very slow. It is coming back, don't get me wrong, and it probably will, but it's just a slow progress. So that's the story of the last remaining guppy. I recently went on holiday and I left this tank for just shy of a week, and it actually managed okay. I was expecting to come back to an algae bomb and I didn't, so it gives me confidence knowing that this tank can kind of, it's stable, and it can kind of sustain itself pretty well. I haven't really started dosing any fertilisers yet. I don't think I need to, just with it being new aqua soil. On the odd occasion I might put in some, oh god, I always get confused between macro and micronutrients, not NPK, basically the rest. Maybe like once a week, but I started dosing like the green Tropica. I can't remember if that's specialised or premium, I always forget. The green one, and I noticed that algae accelerated more, and the plants didn't look like they needed it, so I just dropped that. When they start looking like they're struggling, I'll probably start again. The thing is, the majority of this tank is actually epiphytes, so it's probably not taking up nutrients as fast as you think. Like, I can probably get away not dosing for a while. But other than that, I've had other than the guppies, no fish deaths, no losses. Everyone's doing absolutely fine. I actually see the rosy tips more in this tank than I did the previous scape. They're all huddling around here at the minute because I think I'm going to feed them, because I feed them over at that side, so that's why they're there, apart from this guy who's just everywhere and everywhere. So yeah, maybe do this video again, like a more of a cinematic style update once this EO2 isn't running, but that's not the case today. But yeah, thank you for watching. Sorry I've not uploaded in a while. I'm trying to get back to it. It's sometimes quite hard to get motivated, especially when I've got like so many other tanks to actually do or maintain and stuff. Like fitting in a video is quite hard. But yeah, if you subscribe to the channel, thank you. And yeah, more videos will come because there'll be updates on this and this. It's still a bit of a mess at the minute, but it's getting there. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.